What is up, my creators? Welcome to your tarot session. Take what resonates, leave the rest. Let's jump right on in. So the combination that we have coming out today is the Ten of Fire and the Queen of Air. Starting out with the Ten of Fire, this card for me talks about karmic contracts and everything that happened or that has been happening or that you've been through throughout either your past of this current lifetime or your actual past lives. Each bubble or each little square is almost like a sector of your reality, your past memories, your past experiences. But I see the Ten of Fire as almost like contracts or karmic contracts or things that we find ourselves involved with or things that we have to be involved with as we move through life or as we move through our soul's journey. Now the Queen of Air, she talks about clarity, crystal clarity. She talks about being in and a part of the mental realm, the upper world, even with all of the blue. Queen of Air is very telepathic. She's very sharp and precise on her words and with meaning. She has a very clear understanding of the world around her, and she doesn't let her emotions really get too influenced on what she's doing, what she's trying to create, or where she's directing her focus. She also has an owl depicted on her shoulder as a familiar, as almost like her second sight, even though she is the sight herself. It's almost like this owl represents her enhanced vision, her enhanced accomplishment, or her enhanced sight. So with the Queen of Air coming next to the Ten of Fire, which is talking about karmic contracts, we see two figures almost controlling fire or fire dancing, or which for me is talking about or representing almost like the frustrations of life or the frustrations of going through and dealing with karmic contracts or karmic lessons. But in a sense, it's almost like you get to a point where if you look at the bottom of the card, the figure with the 4 or the 5, I guess, flames of fire in each hand, it looks like she's walking out of the situation. She's no longer a part of the loop, or she's no longer in this same loop. And of course this is a 10, which talks about completion, but she's no longer in the background like the other fire dancer is. She seems like she's walking past these rocks, and almost like it looks like a cave. It seems like she's walking out of a cave and leaving a cave. So next to the Queen of Air, this is talking about understanding. It's almost like freeing yourself from a karmic contract, or even, I don't really like to use this word, but some people say that, like a curse. It's like finally freeing yourself from a karmic contract, or pushing yourself to, it's just like a Ferris wheel or a merry-go-round. When something's going around and around and around, it continues in the same circle, the same cycle, the same pattern. So let's say instead of curse, it's the word pattern. You're freeing yourself from the same cycle, the same rotation, the same go-around, the same pattern. You're freeing yourself from the wheel and moving forward. The Wheel of Fortune is also a 10, so it's almost like the wheel is turning. The wheel is actually turning in a brand new direction, or spinning in a brand new direction. It's almost like this Ten of Fire is a labyrinth, or like a matrix. So it's almost like you're releasing yourself from one matrix. You're moving into your next realm or your next reality. And I think what the Queen of Air is talking about, being able to understand almost like each lesson or each sector or everything you've been through up until this point, or even all throughout your past lives, which is represented by each little bubble. It's like a glimpse into each past life. So it's almost like having an understanding about it, having a crystal clear realization, as the Queen of Air talks about. It's like having a crystal clear realization about this Ten of Earth, and it's like that was almost like the key or the piece that you needed to almost like solve this labyrinth or this matrix, is to understand almost like what the tests were for, or to have a realization about what the test was for. And I don't want to say test, but it's just all of these experiences that arises or comes up, like I say, in this lifetime up until now, or all throughout your past lives. but it's almost like having the understanding or having the realization or having the crystal clarity is what almost like frees you from the loop. It frees you from this go around, this merry-go-round, or this Ferris wheel, because you understand. It's almost like when you're playing a video game and I have two examples, but I'll say one. It's almost like when you're playing a video game and you are constantly on this level of a game that you really don't like, but you feel like to get off the game, you can't quit. You have to beat the game to then leave the game or turn off the game in a sense. But it's almost like after a while, you realize you can just get up and step away from the game. If you don't like it, you don't have to play it. Even if you did learn whatever you learned from the game, after a while you realize you can almost like step out and put a new game in. Change the game, put a new CD, or play something that you like to play. So the Queen of Air comes in and it talks about like a realization and understanding and realizing that you are in more control than you think you are. You just gotta allow that to yourself, and you just gotta give that to yourself. Change the game. Take what resonates, leave the rest.